welcome. For those of you who don't already know who I am, I'm Miss Yudi, and I'm going to be your teacher for your summer Algebra 2 and or pre-calculus math courses. I'm very excited to get started. I just wanted to take this time here to go over expectations, requirements for program movement, Apex formatting, and Zoom etiquette, so that when we move forward here, we're all on the same page and we have the same high level of rigor as we would if we were in our normal classes at St. Lawrence High School. Throughout this presentation, if you have questions, please feel free to write them down and then you can email them to me later. My email will be sprinkled in throughout this presentation, so please don't hesitate to reach out. Other than that, let's get started. All right, so this is our welcome presentation for the summer math sessions of 2020. Again, this is specifically targeted for your mathematics courses that will allow you to have academic program movement. All right, so if I haven't said it enough, welcome, welcome. We're really happy and excited that you're here with us this summer. But I'd always like to get started with some motivation here. Really, I want to answer the question, why are we here, right? Because I feel like if we keep this in the back of our mind as we go through this entire presentation, it'll just reinvigorate and re-excite us and help us push through when times get a little bit tougher, right? So really, I want to commend you on your performance this past school year, right? This has earned you the opportunity to potentially move up to the O'Toole Honors Program starting in the fall. However, in order to do that, you have to have successful completion of this course through this summer Apex program, which we'll talk more about. Okay, so really that is our motivation. Your end goal here is to get that successful completion so that you can move up to the O'Toole program once we begin classes in the fall. All right, so next up here are expectations for program movement, right? There are 4 expectations that we have. First, students must complete both semesters of their assigned course or courses, depending on if you are a sophomore or junior. We'll talk more about that on the next slide. Students must have 100% completion of all assignments that are given to them throughout the course, right? So really trying to emphasize here completion and hard work. Okay, for number 3, students must obtain a grade of 75% or higher at the completion of the course. All right, so normal grades at St. Lawrence, a 69 to a 79, right around there is a C, right? So we're asking you for a mid-level C, B, or an A in order to move up in programs. And then finally here, no more than 2 unexcused absences. We are running a 3-strike policy. All right, and on the 3rd strike, you will not be asked to move up programs. Okay, a couple things I want to highlight here. We are really emphasizing effort, right? Just like in most things, the more effort you put in, the more value you're going to get out of it. So we feel that if you put in as best effort as you can with that 100% completion of assignments and really, giving your full attention throughout the course, you're going to get a really great value out of these summer programs. All right, and then 2 of my favorite quotes here: work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen. Again, really emphasizing working hard. Okay, that is one of my biggest things, is working hard, and obviously being kind, right? That's kind of a good moral code there. The next thing here is strive for progress, not perfection. Okay, so obviously we would all like to be perfect, but we don't want you, really harping on yourself too hard here. We're asking you to progress throughout this course, not to be perfect, which is why in order to move up in programs, we're asking you for a 75%. We're not asking you for 100, right? So strive for progress, not for perfection. Okay, now course requirements here. If you are a sophomore, you are required to take the Algebra 2 course. So you must have successful completion of both Algebra 2 Semester 1 and Semester 2 with that 75% grade or better. For my juniors, you will also be taking Algebra 2, but you will be taking pre-calculus as well. So again, you will have 2 semesters of both of that course, have to get a 75% as your final grade or better in order to move up programs. All right, so for my students here, you have Google Classroom codes. My sophomores, we will run through that code. My juniors, you will run through the code that is visible to you there. All right, all students should be added to these courses. at this point. All right, and this is where I will send out announcements. I'll send out Zoom links. If there's issues with Apex, I'll send it out through Google Classroom, all of that kind of stuff. All right, but we will not be turning in anything on Google Classroom. All turn-ins will go through that Apex virtual program, which we're going to, again, talk more about throughout this presentation. All right, and finally, we have meeting times, okay? So the Algebra 2 course will run from 8 a.m. to 9:30, so that will include both my sophomores and my juniors. For pre-calculus, that will run at 10 a.m. and that will go to 11:30. So there is a half-hour break in there for my juniors, you know, your snack nap workout, whatever it is you need to do during that 30 minutes, okay? So those are our class times, and that will meet through Zoom. Again, the Zoom links will get posted on Google Classroom. Now, our class structure. The class is an interactive course that utilizes this new program called Apex Learning Virtual School, and it has teacher-led Zoom classes, right? And we really feel that this multifaceted approach will allow you all to have real-time feedback from me, engage with your classmates, and really stay on track towards completion, okay? While also utilizing this virtual school program called Apex that has everything built in. So you have that 24-hour access, but you also have the ability for real-time feedback and engagement with others throughout our Zoom. So again, we're going to be using Apex Learning and Zoom platform here. All right, and this is an 8-week intensive course that will allow students to complete both semesters of the course and provide successful integration into our O'Toole program in the fall. Okay, I really want to highlight it is 8 weeks and it is what we call intensive. And the reason that is because, again, we're trying to fit in an entire year of mathematics class into just 8 weeks here. All right, so it's gonna feel like a blur. It's gonna go really quickly, but my goal here is to make sure that we work hard, we get as much as we can out of these classes, and that we are successful and gain as much knowledge as physically possible throughout these 8 weeks. All right, so here's our overall schedule, right? We've got June, July, and August here on the right. So our basic structure has 4 weeks for each semester, all right? 3 weeks are going to be with teacher-led Zoom meetings, right? So you'll have meetings with me for 3 weeks. Then that final week, that 4th week, I'm calling your solo week, right? And that is for you to finish the course and or any missing items, right? So if you forgot an item, if you missed it, right, you're getting that 1 week kind of buffer to make that up. If you finish everything within the 3 weeks, then that 4th week you get to just kind of take off and relax a little bit. But we are building in that 1 week buffer for you to finish any solo activities that you need. All right, so semester 1 will run June 7th through July 5th. Okay, we will not have Zoom meetings the week of June 29th. So the 29th, 30th, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we will not have meetings. Okay, that will be your solo week if you need it. So again, our schedule on the right, highlighted in purple, that is how long we have to work on semester 1 of our classes. All right, semester 2 is July 6th through August 3rd. All right, and again, we will not have Zoom meetings on that 4th week, which is July 27th, right? So 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, we will be off. And you will have until about August 2nd, right, to finish everything up for semester 2 if needed. All right, so again, basic structure, 3 weeks with Zoom meetings, 1 week by yourself to finish, and then we'll go to semester 2. Same thing, 3 weeks with Zoom meetings, 1 week to finish by yourself. All right. Weekly assignments here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That is when we will meet on Zoom, all right? So we're only meeting Monday through Thursday. Okay, again, our meeting times right there. Algebra 2, 8 to 9:30 a.m., pre-calculus 10 to 11:30 a.m. All right, now students are expected to be in the Zoom meeting by the start of class, right? So at 8 a.m., at 10 a.m., I am starting the class. So you need to be here and be on time. All right, classes will go for 1.5 hours each on Monday through Thursday, right? So 1.5 hours each. Now, here is the big one. Students can be expecting 1.5 hours of homework additional each night. All right, so again, that is the big one, 1.5 potential hours of homework each night, right? And this is what's going to allow us to squish an entire year of mathematics into just 8 weeks, right? So please do not be surprised if you have what seems like a larger amount of homework here. All right. Now, students will also be expected to complete assignments over the 3-day weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will not be meeting on Zoom, but you will still have assignments, or you could still potentially have assignments that are going to be asked of you to complete by Monday morning class time. All right. So again, we will only be meeting Monday through Thursday. We will be meeting for 3 weeks, right? But in that 4th week and on weekends and over the weekends, if you have questions, by all means, you are more than welcome to shoot me an email, and I'll help you as best I can, right? And we do have some programs through Apex that will allow also for more help, and we'll talk about that throughout the presentation, okay? But these are just the designated times when we will have Zoom that you will need to be present and on camera for that 1.5 class hours a day. Okay. So moving forward, the question becomes, how can we be successful, right? How can we be successful as a class? How can you be successful through this 8-week intensive course, right? So first off, we are doing e-learning, okay? But thankfully at St. Lawrence, we have had a lot of experience with e-learning platforms. So this should be a seamless transition from what we did in the spring semester to what we're going to do for this summer course, all right? But a couple changes will happen with that, and I'll discuss that as we go. But the one I want to start with here is a couple quick rules here, all right? The first and foremost, we are a team, right? So all of us in this class, in this course, we are a team, okay? So we're going to try to help each other. We're going to celebrate each other's successes. We're going to have great discussions with each other. We are going to obviously respect each other. We're going to try our best, and we're going to learn from our mistakes here, all right? And then those are pretty much the big ones for me, okay? Highlighting again, we are a team that respects each other, all right? And if you have a team mentality and you have respect for all classmates, for your teachers, for your parents, right, we're going to be successful in this course, all right? So moving forward here. Daily attendance, okay? So like I told you before, but I'm reiterating because it is super important to me. The Zoom meetings will start on time, and we will start with daily attendance, okay? I will take attendance daily to make sure that you are observing that 3-strike policy. All right, so again, attendance is mandatory for program movement. On that 3rd strike, if there is one, you will not be allowed to move up programs, all right? You will students and parents will be notified after each class if there is an absence, right? So I will message the parents. I will have the students on that email as well, so they are fully aware. But I will have some email that says, you know, hello, blank missed today's class. This is 1 of 3. Please make sure that you are in class tomorrow. Period, right? Nothing super drawn out. I'll let you know what you missed, but really you need to make sure that you are in class unless you are letting me know. Which brings me to that 4th point here. Okay, if you know you're going to be absent, please email me ahead of time with an explanation, right? And it has to be an excused absence, just like we would in class, just like we would in school at St. Lawrence, okay? So it has to be an excused absence, all right? Now, if you let me know ahead of time, I can video record the lecture and I can send it to you after class along with whatever else you need, all right? But if there is no email communication, again, we're gonna have to mark that as an unexcused absence, all right? My personal favorite quote here, if you're early, you're on time, and if you're on time, you're late, okay? So I cannot harp on it enough. We only have a certain amount of time to meet on Zoom face-to-face, so please make sure you are there on time, ready to go. And on time to me is you are in the waiting room before class starts, so that way at 8 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, when I hit admit, everybody is in and ready to go. All right, now moving forward to Zoom etiquette here, okay? So this is not anything new that you should mostly know from St. Lawrence. I just want to highlight a couple things that maybe are slightly different, all right? Obviously, we said be on time, mute yourself, okay? Sit still, come prepared, be respectful, right? Find a quiet place. Big one for me, try not to eat. Right, we're going to be on camera, so make sure you get your snacks in beforehand. You know, for my juniors, we built in that 30-minute break, so please make sure that you are eating during that time and not when we are supposed to be having discussion. Okay, couple 3 I really want to highlight though as well. Okay, find a comfortable but professional place to do your work. Okay, so think desk, table, couch even, all right? I do not want you to be sitting in your bed, all right, or laying down in your bed. I don't need no pillows in your Zoom video, okay? So please find a place to work that you're going to be successful at. Next here, cameras must always be on with faces visible during our class discussions, okay? So that is a big one for me. I want to make sure that when you enter, your Zoom is on. I can see your face, right? I don't want to be looking at your ceiling or at a black screen with your name on it, okay? We need to make sure that we are working on our video conferencing abilities, right? So please make sure that your video camera is on and on your face. And obviously, I know that when we start working with the Apex program or you're doing notes or something like that, right? You might have to exit out of the Zoom for a minute or two, and that's totally fine. But we all know the difference between when we're having a discussion and when we're working on things independently. Okay, so when we are having that class discussion, cameras on with your beautiful faces visible. All right, and lastly here, again, I can't harp on it enough. Be respectful of our time, right? And again, I emphasize our time because we as a class only have so much time to meet, right? And some things that are not respectful of our time is if you come unprepared, if you come late to our meeting, right? Because then we have to spend time catching you up, and that's really not fair to everybody else who was here ready to go on time. So please make sure that you are keeping up to date with homework, you're doing assignments as they're asked of you, right? And that you show up on or ahead of time for our Zoom meetings. Okay, so the big one here, okay, it is an online course, right? The big one here is assignments and really time management, okay? So the key to this is getting your assignments done, making a task list, sticking to it, really putting in the hours to make sure that this works, all right? So again, make sure you're staying on track and completing work as it is assigned to you, okay? Work will start piling up very quickly if you start missing some, so try to make sure that as best you can. If I assign 10 tasks, do all 10 tasks, right? Don't fall behind. Okay, you will get a weekly Apex progress update. Okay, that will be sent out to the parents and to the students so that we are all holding each other accountable to what we say we're going to do. All right. Remember, 100% completion is required for that program movement. So you have to have 100% completion in order to move up programs. Hence why I will be sending weekly progress updates so that we can, again, hold each other accountable. And then lastly here, okay, make sure you are following all instructions and respecting integrity and plagiarism rules. All right, so there are programs in place through Apex that will check for plagiarism. So please make sure you are doing your own work. All right. Okay, so last one here, ask for help. Please ask for help, right? So if you need help, guidance, tips, assistance, anything, right? Please ask. Okay, that's why I'm here. I'm here for you. And also, you're going to find out that Apex, our courses, we have teachers that are assigned to them as well. So you have not just me, but you have another teacher through Apex who is specifically designed and assigned to our class to help you. All right. So again, between all of us at St. Lawrence and all of the people at Apex, you have a giant team that is here designated to ensure that you are successful. Okay, so please do not hesitate to reach out and use the resources that are available to you. Okay, now at this moment, I want to stop here and see if we have any questions, give you a moment to write those questions down, right? Hold on to them. And at the end of this presentation, you can email me at nuede@stlawrence.com. It's YUEDE at stlawrence.com. All right. So moving forward here, we've talked a lot about it, but let's get into it. This is that Apex Learning Virtual School, okay? So you should have gotten an email from your Apex, okay? You probably said Apex Learning Virtual School in the title, okay? And it had a lot of getting started stuff for students. And by now you have also received an email from the Apex assigned teacher who also introduced themselves. So please make sure you look out for both of those emails. Okay, but in both of those emails, you have two really nice PDFs that I'm going to flash at you because I want you to look at them on your own. Okay, the first is this Getting Started Guide for Students. Okay, so there's a couple things here that I think would be really helpful for you to read. Again, I'm not going to spend time doing that. I want you to do that on your own. Also, tips for success. Okay, so again, a lot of those are similar, but please make sure you read those. What I'm going to do here through this presentation is I'm going to hit the highlights for you and add on a couple St. Lawrence specific things. All right, so first off, you are required to have a calculator for both of these courses and for your future courses at St. Lawrence High School. All right, so you have three options here: the TI-84 Plus, TI-83, or TI-83 Plus. All right, obviously if you want to get a higher level calculator, by all means, but these are the three that we suggest. All right, some calculator purchases also come with apps for your iPad, so please make sure if that's something that's interesting to you, make sure you look at that. All right, now those are the three that we've got here, plus the TI-84 Plus CE, that just stands for colored edition, right? But basically, regardless of the calculator you choose, all of them can be used on your SAT, your ACT, any AP classes you might take in the future, and that bottom one there is that IB for my sophomores who might be interested in that International Baccalaureate program. All of those are acceptable for all of the following tests, okay? Now, we have a student guided tour. Okay, so a student guided tour, that's been part of the message for, that is in part of the message from your teacher, from your Apex Learning. All right, so we're going to take a minute here to watch this video together as a class. And there is an interesting opportunity at the end, so please make sure you are paying attention.
Welcome to Apex Learning Virtual School. By the end of this video, you will be able to sign in and access your course, review activity due dates to set goals, send messages and assignments to your teacher, track your progress, get help when you need it, and earn 15 points extra credit. You will receive an email with sign-in instructions prior to the first day of your course. Most students will log in here. Can't find the email? Check your spam or junk folder. If you still need help, call or email Student Services. Get familiar with the Course Activity Scores Report. It shows you a list of all scored activities in the course and their due dates. Use this as a pacing guide and stick to the due dates as best you can. We have found that students with 4 or less overdue assignments at the end of their course earn a passing grade 97% of the time. Get to know your teacher by reading their teacher bio from the dashboard. If you have a question during your course, send a message to your teacher right from the dashboard. If you are unable to get your question answered using messages, schedule a phone or video conference with your teacher. For extra help with course concepts, chat with an online tutor Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Each unit of your course includes computer-scored quizzes and tests. These assessments provide instant feedback and scoring. For best results, make sure to prepare for each assessment by completing the study activity and study sheet prior to each quiz and the review activity prior to each test. Each unit of your course includes several teacher-scored assignments. To send an assignment to your teacher, start a new message, check the Submit Homework box, select the assignment you're sending, and attach your homework file to the message. Note that you can only attach one file, that is 7 megabytes or less, to the message. For work that is easiest to handwrite, use the Cam Scanner app on your phone to take a picture of each page of your assignment and save it as a single PDF file. For work that you can type, such as an English essay, use a word processing program such as Word or Google Docs. For Spanish and French spoken assignments, use a sound recording program such as Audacity to record your assignment in 60-second increments and save it as an MP3 or WAV file. For help submitting assignments, contact your teacher or Student Services. Your teacher will grade and return assignments within 3 school days. Make sure to check the messages page to see replies from your teacher. Their comments will help you on future assignments. Set up alerts so that you're instantly notified via email or text when your assignments are graded. Opt into the message center and communication alerts and have them sent to your email, the website, and your phone. Use the dashboard to track your progress throughout the course. The grade to date shows your grade for all activities due through today. Hover to see your quality of work, which shows how you're doing on all activities you have completed. Click to see your activity scores report. Keep an eye on overdue activities and try to keep that number under 5 if you can. Click to see a list of activities with due dates in the past. Ready to earn an easy 15 extra credit points? Send a message to your teacher introducing yourself. Help your teacher get to know you by including your name, year in school, where you live, and your hobbies or interests in your message. Good luck with your course! If you need help along the way, you can send a message to your teacher, chat with an online tutor in real time, or contact Student Services via phone, email, or chat.
All right. So again, there is that extra credit opportunity, okay? So please make sure you are taking advantage of that. You can find the link to that video as well in your email if you need to rewatch it for that extra credit opportunity, okay? You will have to rewatch that video again in order to receive the extra credit. So again, go find that link, watch the video, and do the assignment. Get that extra credit because there's not a whole lot of opportunities for extra credit throughout this course, all right? So take advantage of it while you've got it. All right, I want to take a little bit of time to walk you through what some of this stuff on Apex will look like, okay? So this is what the pre-calculus book will look like, right? So you can see here it has 6 units at the top, also shown in little boxes at the bottom, right? And if we click on, let's say, Unit 1, it'll go through an introduction, it'll go through multiple lessons, right? And then within those multiple lessons, there's an overview, a study, potentially a checkup, and then a quiz. Right? There might be other things embedded in there, but that's kind of the general format for these math courses here. All right. So again, we're going to follow through Unit 1 through 6, and we're going to go in order, working through that, right? And we'll talk about due dates and all of that stuff throughout the course, but I will make sure that I am very, very clear on when things are due or when I'm expecting things to be due, just so that we can stay on track and make sure we get this course accomplished within our 4-week deadline. All right, and again, if you are missing an assignment, right, you are not penalized for late submission. You have to make sure that you turn those all in. And again, that will be my job, is making sure that we are turning in all our assignments. We're staying on track, and really I'm guiding you and helping you through as much as you need. Okay, next thing here I'm showing you is your list of assignments that must be completed, all right? So this is now looking at the Algebra 2, all right? So we have various quizzes, practice problems, tests, worksheets, things of that nature. And these are the ones that are getting scored and adding towards your official score. However, there are problems embedded within the book that are just practice and concept checks. However, you do need to do those in order to unlock your quizzes and tests, right? So you have to make sure that you are completing all activities that are asked of you in the order that they are asked, right? So again, that is part of that 100% completion, right? So please make sure we are doing that, all right? Now, these due dates here on the side, these are just arbitrary due dates, okay? We can obviously go a little bit faster than some of these due dates, right? It has this first assignment not being due till 6/12, right? We're not going to sit on our butts for a few days and do nothing, right? Because if you notice here, all of a sudden, we have a lot of things that are due on 6/15, right? So these are just arbitrary due dates to try to, say at least by this date you have to have them done. But obviously our goal is to get them done before that and to be successful throughout this program while we are doing that. All right. But these are the items, again, listed in order. And what I will do is when I send out the reports each week, I will also send a screenshot of this saying, hey, this is the score they got on these assignments. This is the percent. This is the date they did it, right? To make sure that you are well aware of if you are missing something, what you are missing, and you can keep a good track of what your grade is up to that point. I do want to highlight though that all the way, if we scroll all the way down, right, that final assignment, your semester 1 exam, we have that being due on 6/26. Okay, so that is actually being due. We have that being due in that 3rd week, right? So again, if we get through this, you do all assignments as I'm asking you to do it, that 4th week should really just be for you to go back and clean up whatever maybe you missed, and to make sure that, you know, all assignments are done if you fell a little bit behind, right? So again, that due date is set for 6/26, so that gives you a full week. Again, it gives you a full week to potentially take that test, review what you need, right? Or you know, take it and enjoy that week off between semester 1 and semester 2. So again, I know this seems like a lot, and I know a lot of these due dates are on the same day, and that's why, again, it is an intensive course here. All right, but again, my job here is to make sure that, you know, we space these out, we have enough time, we have discussions so that you are successful and that it doesn't feel super overwhelming. All right, the last thing I want to point out here is kind of this highlight portion. All right, so we have your course name, your course classroom, right? Your teacher from Apex. So for example, this one is Miss Kathy Weiss. But a couple other things I want to highlight. This will be included in your weekly progress update. Okay, so it will have your quality of work. That includes tests, quizzes, but that also has things like practice problems or things that weren't officially graded, right? So this is your concept checks, right? So you really want to make sure that your quality of work is high, right? Because that means that you're really taking the time to work through those practice problems. You're really trying to understand it throughout, not just on that final test here. Okay, so if you're doing well on your quality of work, that will help you on your grade to date or your final grade, because that's saying you did really well on all of the practices. Now, when you go to your test, you should be very successful. Okay, grade to date is obviously your grade up to that point, right? So that will be changing as you add more assignments. All right, overdue activities, like the video said, you want that to be, I believe, under 4, okay? But my goal is for that to be 0, okay? My goal is for that to be a 0, all right? So I'm gonna try to make sure that we as a class have a nice schedule to make sure that we can get all activities done, we stay on schedule, or even ahead of schedule, to make sure that we are again, successful in completing this course. All right, progress, that is obviously as we go through the course, you want that progress bar to move forward. We do not want that progress bar to stay stagnant. Another one here, the really one I want to highlight here is total session time and your last access date. Okay, so I have the ability to see how long you've been working and what the last time you accessed it was. Okay, so again, what the goal is we're trying to fit 72 hours of class. Okay, we're trying to fit 72 hours of class into these 8 weeks, right? So again, that 1.5 hours on Zoom, right? So Monday through Thursday, and then that additional 1.5 hours as homework, okay? And again, some of that time can get shifted around to weekends and things of that nature, okay? But I will be able to track your total session time and the last time you accessed Apex. So we want to make sure we are accessing it, you know, almost every day, if not every day, all right? To make sure that we can stay on track, stay successful, and keep moving forward. And again, this will be included in that email that I send to you and the parents as part of that weekly update. Moving forward here, okay, again, they emphasized it, I'll emphasize it again, staying on track. That is huge throughout this course, all right? So you got to make sure, 1, you are doing the work. Participation is key, All right, 2, make sure you are taking notes while you're studying, okay? There are some study sheets that it'll give you. Make sure that you are taking those notes as you go, okay? We will not be collecting notes, and Apex will not be collecting notes, but as this is an online class, right, it's pretty much open note, open book. So if you take those notes, you can obviously use them on your later assessments, okay? And then finally, move through the course sequentially or in order, all right? We want to make sure that you're getting the topics from 1 through 5 before you try doing 6 through 10, okay? So please make sure you are working in order. Don't bounce around. Go in the order that is given to you. All right, again, highlighting here, assignments on Apex. There are 2 types of graded assignments here, okay? Computer scored, so those are those multiple choice or fill in the blank ones where it has you type in the answer right there. That will get scored instantaneously. All right, then you have teacher scored. Teacher scored are the ones where you might have to type on a Google Doc or write something and upload a PDF using that message capability, right? So you'd have to go send a message to your teacher, click that it is for homework, and tell her what it is and what it's for. All right. So then, again, just a couple highlights. Submitting your work. Like I said, you will need to submit your teacher-scored activities throughout your course. All right, and the best way to do this is as a message, as an attachment through the message area in the Apex Learning platform. All right, so like I said, there is handwritten, which you can use this Cam Scanner app on your phone to take pictures of your work. But you can also use Notability if you know how to do that, right? So I personally love Notability. I use it throughout my class at St. Lawrence quite often, and I know other teachers do as well. It is a great tool. Now, it is not a free app, right? But I think it's around maybe $8. I totally think it is worth it. And this Cam Scanner app here, if I click on it, okay, scanning assignments with your phone, this is what it'll look like, all right? And yes, students, you will have access to this presentation afterwards and all these clickable links, so you'll be able to go and look at that. But basically, for this Cam Scanner app, you can take pictures, right, and then send it directly through there. All right, so that is also another option here, a really nice option if you prefer to do handwritten things on maybe some paper. All right, next is typed assignments. Okay, so you're gonna have to copy and paste the assignment into the Word doc, type your answers, and then save it. Okay, it is not like an editable doc as it would be if it was on Google Classroom. So same thing, if you're gonna copy and paste the text, right, here's your instructions. You'll open the activity, highlight it, you'll copy it, right, and then you'll paste it into the word processing, you'll type your answers out, and then again you will submit using that message capability on Apex. Okay, and then, like I said, they highlighted in the video. I just want to highlight it as much as possible. If you feel stuck on something, you can always reach out to myself or have a live chat with a tutor through Apex, right? So there's another ability for you to get answers in real time, okay? And we'll highlight here a little bit more of that live chat. But you have myself, you have your Apex teacher, and you have the live tutor chat through Apex, all again to ensure that you can be successful in this course. One thing I want to highlight in case it wasn't clear, at St. Lawrence we do have that 10% late policy up to 5 days. As this is through Apex, we are not penalizing for late submissions, okay? We are not penalizing for late submissions. However, as I highlighted, it's going to really be beneficial for you if you can stick to those due dates, because again, if you don't finish assignment A, you're still getting assignment B and assignment C because we're progressing through, right? So that just means there's a lot more work that you have to do in order to catch up. So you're not penalized for those late submissions, but try to stick to that schedule. All right, so highlighting here that live tutor chat. So if I click on this link here, what it'll do is it'll take you to the Apex Learning live chat. Okay, you can also access that, like you said, through your Apex home screen. But basically, you'll introduce yourself, give your name, your email, your phone number. Okay, and then obviously you would want tutor for math. You would type your message, right? And this is where you get the chance to work on those messaging skills, right? Really asking the questions that you want answered, and how you ask the question can be very important, right? You can't just say, I'm stuck. Okay, well, what are you stuck with? What questions are you working on? What class are you in? Right? All of those kinds of things are going to be beneficial in order to have your tutor help you as best as possible. All right. Moving forward here, okay, operating hours, highlight Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so they're not always open, but if it's outside of these bounds, you are more than welcome to send me an email or your Apex teacher an email. All right. Again, you can still send me an email through that 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if you need answers outside of that time frame, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, so again, giving you an opportunity here. If you have any questions, please write them down, think about them, and like I said, shoot me an email again at nud@stlawrence.com. All right, nud@stlawrence.com. All right. Now, by this point, everybody has access to Apex, okay? But if you, for whatever reason, get locked out of Apex, you forget your password, something happens, please reach out to me because I can reset that password and send it to you, okay? So do not let something like a forgotten password keep you from being successful in this class, all right? For the rest of the class today, right, I wanted you to take some time to familiarize yourself with the Apex program, set up your personal preferences, right, really go back and make sure that you are prepared for class, right? In that video, they talked about setting up email notifications and things like that. So please, please go do that. Again, tomorrow we're going to come back, hit the ground running, and like I said, it is an intensive 8-week course. So we're going to hit the ground running, and then we're not going to stop for about 8 weeks here. All right. So please explore the Apex program. If you want, you can get started, of course, but please take some time, explore, figure out what you need, figure out what the settings look like, where you find things. Again, if you are prepared, you have a plan, you are going to perform, right? That's kind of the key there. All right, and then finally, speaking of keys, communication is a big one of those. All right, communication is a big one. I've really tried to hyper focus that I truly believe communication is the key to success here, right? So that's why my email is always open if you need anything. So please do not hesitate to reach out, okay? Other than that, what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of time here and just say thank you. Very excited. Please reach out to me with questions, comments, concerns. I will leave this video up on Google Classroom. I will send it to parents through email. So please take the time to watch it. Make sure that you are up to date with our expectations and have everything you need to be successful.